This is the case of Kane versus Wright. Ms. Kane has had an on-again, off-again relationship with Mr. Wright for the past 3 years. Both parties have serious mistrust issues impacting their relationship. Buckle up because it's about to get even wilder.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Kane versus Wright.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're
Good
welcome.
day, everyone. Ms. Kane, now you say you've had an on-again, off-again relationship with Mr. Wright for the past 3 years. In addition to questions regarding your daughter's paternity, you say your relationship has suffered from instability and constant mistrust.
Well, that escalated quickly. Ms. Kane admits she texted Mr. Wright saying she thought he was cute and wondered if they could take things further shortly after meeting him. They began dating, despite all the ex-drama swirling around them. Trust issues persisted like a bad rash as Ms. Kane's ex remained in the picture. Hold tight because more revelations are coming.
I said that I thought he was cute and if we could move on to maybe something more.
Wait a minute. With the the tow truck man left, and then you just sent a text like, I think you cute, can we move on to something more? What's something more than you towing my car?
Yes.
Okay, and so you started dating?
Yes.
And at some point during this time, you got pregnant?
Yes.
What a tangled web. Judge Lake calls out the chaotic nature of their relationship. Both admit to still having some level of contact with their exes during their relationship. This chaotic situation is like trying to build a house on quicksand. The next part is even juicier.
Because you were still sleeping with the ex?
No, my ex did not believe that him and I hooked up.
Did he not believe it because that was his boy and he didn't think his boy would sleep with you?
Don't know, he never really got into all that. He didn't believe it.
And so meanwhile, Mr. Wright, what's your ex doing all this time? Because you living in the house with her, right?
My ex is, I guess, stay at the crib, take care of her kids.
You're still living with her while you're dating.
Right.
Can you believe this setup? Mr. Wright was living with his ex to help take care of her kids while he was dating Ms. Kane. Naturally, Ms. Kane suspects Mr. Wright was still getting cozy with his ex, which he vehemently denies. This bizarre arrangement only added fuel to the mistrust fire. And you won't believe what happens next.
She would get a hold of me off of Facebook and tell me that they're still together, that they're sleeping together.
That's not true. Me and her have broke up, and yes, I've done stuff with my ex. When we've been broke up.
It wasn't just when we were broken up.
Okay, so you all have a 4-way relationship that includes no, let's just call it the way it is.
Things just got even more complicated. Ms. Kane tells Mr. Wright she's pregnant, but he's got serious doubts about the baby's paternity. Despite being there for the birth and supporting the child, he refused to sign the birth certificate because of his doubts. This unresolved paternity issue is like a ticking time bomb. The next revelation will shock you.
And at some point with all this messiness, you get pregnant.
Yes.
And you tell him?
Yes.
And when she tells you, are you happy? Do you believe it's yours?
I was happy, but I still had that, with everything she's doing. I mean, she went over to her baby daddy's house. She has 2 other kids, went over to his house. Was over there for 3 hours when she knew that dinner was almost done. Ignore my phone calls, my text messages. Then finally she shows up. Oh, well.
Hold on to your seats. During an argument, Ms. Kane told Mr. Wright that the baby might not be his. She admits saying it out of anger, but stands firm that there's no other possibility. This bombshell further complicates their already strained relationship. You won't believe what comes next.
You told him while you were pregnant that this baby is not his.
Right.
I mean, just a couple months ago, she told me. We got into an argument, and I was like, I'm going down and filing for full custody. I'm going to file for paternity test, and I'm filing for full custody. She was like, you might want to go file because she probably ain't yours anyway.
Oh, that's when she said it.
Yeah, because he always wants to think he can just control everything I do. He wants me trapped in a house all the time.
It's not that I want her trapped in the house. I want her to actually do what she says she's going to do, just like her ex-boyfriend tells me every time she's with her mom.
What a twist! Judge Lake questions why they're still together despite the non-stop drama. Both express that they love each other, but recognize the many difficulties they face. Judge Lake emphasizes the dire need for trust and stability for their child's sake. The next part is a game changer.
At this point, I just want to know, why are you two even together?
Because I do love him.
He don't answer my call. She don't answer my call. It's a 2-hour break. She not taking the phone into the bathroom. I mean, this is just constant complaint after complaint. Neither one of you trust the other one as far as you can throw them. You really don't.
Reality check. Judge Lake stresses that their daughter, Ariana, is caught in the middle of their tumultuous relationship. Both parties acknowledge the negative impact this chaos has on their child. Judge Lake emphasizes the critical need for a stable and trusting environment for their daughter. Hold on, because there's more.
You got a beautiful little girl that's losing because she's living in all this chaos.
I agree.
And can't put the phone down for 2 hours and somebody accuses you of cheating, something's wrong.
I agree with that. I can't do anything.
Nobody want to walk around with the phone Velcro to their shirt.
That's because
you might miss a text.
That's not what happens though. She gets, okay, yep, I was pissed because she put the phone down right in the middle of a conversation. She gets back, what happens? The one that she had a threesome with is unblocked.
Can you handle the suspense? The paternity test results are finally revealed.
It has been determined, Mr. Wright, you are Ariana's father.
What an unbelievable situation to start with. Judge Lake opens the case of Strong vs. McClain, involving Ms. Strong summoning Ms. McClain to prove that her husband is not the father of Ms. McClain's 14-month-old daughter, Angel. Ms. Strong alleges Ms. McClain suddenly claimed her husband, fathered her child, and demanded he take responsibility. Ms. McClain asserts her daughter resulted from a passionate night and is certain Mr. Strong is the father. The next part is going to shock you even more. Hold on to your seats.
Hello.
This is a case of Strong versus McClain.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Strong, you've summoned the defendant, Ms. McClain, to court to prove that your husband did not father her 14-month-old daughter, Angel. You say 1 month ago, Ms. McClain calls you out of the blue and claimed Mr. Strong was her child's father.
Wow, he really thought it was a setup. Mr. Strong admits he was nervous about the threesome due to past bad decisions and initially thought it was a setup. He reluctantly agreed and participated in multiple threesomes. He later heard rumors about Ms. McClain's pregnancy, but was told it was her ex-boyfriend's child. Can you imagine thinking your wife is setting you up with a threesome? This next part will leave you speechless.
Mr. Strong, you were nervous at first.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why were you nervous?
Because prior to our first couple months of our relationship, I made a lot of bad decisions. And when she approached me with this conversation, I thought it was another setup.
Oh, you thought it was a setup? So you reluctantly agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Who would have thought they'd have so many? The court learns the group had a total of 8 threesomes before and after Ms. McClain's pregnancy. Ms. McClain confirms she discovered her pregnancy a few weeks after their first threesome. Despite being in a relationship with someone else at the time, she assumed her partner was the father until he was ruled out. 8 threesomes? That's like a miniseries. You won't believe what's coming next.
Before my daughter's birth and after it.
Total.
2.5 to 3 weeks after we had our very first threesome, I found out I was pregnant.
And you said you had 8 of them?
Correct.
So you were still having threesomes with them through your pregnancy?
And after.
Mr. and Ms. Strong, when Ms. McClain came and told you she was pregnant, how did that conversation go?
I asked her if it was my husband's child, and she told me no.
I was in a relationship at that point in time.
It's astonishing how race played into their doubts. Ms. Strong believes Angel does not look African American, leading to doubt about Mr. Strong's paternity. Judge Lake clarifies that mixed-race couples can have children with varying appearances, including fair skin. Despite ruling out her previous partner, Ms. McClain maintains Mr. Strong is the father due to shared traits between him and Angel. The drama only escalates from here. Buckle up.
But to be honest with you, a white person and a black person can still have a white baby.
Well, no, they can't.
They technically can, not to argue with you. Look
I
it
have
up.
mixed nieces and nephews.
No, what they can have is a biracial child. So what I will say, you are correct, Ms. McClain, that a black man and a white woman can make very fair-skinned children that appear almost white.
How touching that they've built a bond despite uncertainty. Mr. and Mrs. Strong describe how they began building a relationship with Angel, buying essentials and spending time with her whenever possible. They emphasize their readiness to embrace her into their family if Mr. Strong is proven to be her father. Both express a desire for clarity to avoid repeating cycles of fatherlessness. From threesomes to baby essentials, the revelations just keep coming.
There's like a whole gap there.
I haven't been around either. We were going back and forth to Chicago to all the doctors for her eye. She has a problem with her eye. It's a hemangioma. Her blood vessels grow too quickly in her eye. My daughter was more important than even contacting them.
So you said we'll deal with DNA issues later?
Correct.
Understood.
It's incredible they're still going through with it all. Despite the ongoing uncertainty, the Strong couple continues to have threesomes, now using double birth control. They are committed to raising Angel if she is Mr. Strong's biological daughter. Ms. Strong reveals she cannot have children due to medical reasons, which influences their willingness to welcome Angel. The story takes another twist. Don't miss it. Oh, it gets even more interesting.
And so once Angel got here, you said this innocent little baby deserves nothing less than our love and our support, and we welcome her into our family.
Yes, Your Honor. My kids welcomed her with open arms, not even knowing. They treat her like that's their sister, no matter what.
And it seems like you have less doubt than your husband.
I look at the conception date. She's been telling me for, a year that she's not, but I went back to the time of conception and she didn't leave my bed that night, so.
She really wants this blended family to work. Ms. McLean hopes Mr. Strong is Angel's father to provide her daughter with a stable family environment. She insists she will not keep Angel from knowing her father. Despite Mr. Strong not being the biological father, she maintains a desire for Angel to have a father figure in her life. The moment of truth is almost here. The suspense is killing me.
Ms. McLean would be able to give him the child you're unable to give him.
Absolutely, and he would be able to have a son and a daughter, and that's all he's ever wanted. He treats my kids like they're his with no hesitation. So absolutely, I would take her in with open arms and raise her. He does it for me, regardless if they were there before he was. We all three got together and made her together. We should raise her together.
Very forward thinking.
Here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA test results are read, revealing.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Strong, you are not the father.
That was quite an opening, right? Ms. Commons comes in hot, claiming Mr. Baker has been denying their 2-year-old daughter Breeze and won't lift a finger for her. She's dead set on proving he's the daddy in court today. Meanwhile, Mr. Baker is like, hold up, I was a loving dad until I found out she cheated. Now he's full of doubts. Hang on, this story is just warming up.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Commons versus Baker.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Commons, you claim the defendant has been denying your 2-year-old daughter Breeze and refuses to do anything for her. You are furious and testify that you are certain he is the father and plan to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you believe that emotional roller coaster? Ms. Commons says Mr. Baker's done a 180, now always telling Breeze to go to her mama, even when the kid wants him. Poor Breeze just wants some daddy cuddles and skin rubbing time, but Mr. Baker's playing hot potato with his own kid. Then he butts in like, nah, she's lying, and we're just getting started, folks.
And give me an example how he denies.
First, he'll say, go over there to your mama. He know how my baby is affectionate. My baby got a skin fetish. She like to rub on people. So that hurt my feelings when he be like, go to your mama. And she be like, I want you. And he be just saying, go to your mama. And she want you. She knows
and that makes
you want.
Emotional when
exactly.
Hold up. Did you catch that? Mr. Baker dropped some serious accusations, saying Ms. Commons is a serial cheater and super shady with her phone. He's like, every time her phone pings, she hides it. But if mine does, she acts like it's Jesus calling. Despite all this drama, he initially decided to step up and be a dad, but wait till you hear what he says next.
All right, well, first of all, I got doubts because everything that come out of her mouth a lie. Like, all the stuff she did in the past from just cheating with multiple people. Cheating with multiple people. I could catch her like, if her phone bings, she hide it.
If my phone bings, you just want it. It could be, if my phone bing, it could be Jesus Christ. He gonna think it's I'm sleeping with.
Oh my gosh!
Can you believe the twist here? Ms. Commons drops the bombshell that Mr. Baker only started denying Breeze after she admitted to a fling with her ex. She's like, we had a great night, then suddenly he flips out and calls me all kinds of names the next morning. Talk about a mood swing. And then things take another wild turn.
When we was on our way home that morning, you would have thought he was Tasmanian Devil. He was like, B, that's not my baby. You know it ain't my baby. I'm like, what? Where did that just come from? We had a good night.
How could you explain a good night? Because she sat there and said, I cheated. Oh, it's a good night.
You didn't. He didn't leave the room, did he?
It was painful.
He still slept with me that night.
Okay, hold on.
Wow, what a plot twist. Mr. Baker recounts Ms. Commons confessing to cheating while they were chilling in a hot tub. She dropped the affair bombshell right around the time Breeze was conceived, making him even more suspicious. And guess what? The drama is just about to peak.
We chilling in the hot tub, jacuzzi and everything, and out the blue just came. Hold on.
No, Jan, that's not what happened. I can tell you exactly what happened.
She like, I cheated, I stepped out. So I'm looking like, when you do it? I asked her, she talking about, I don't even remember what date, but it was too close to when Breeze
was conceived.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Can you even imagine? Ms. Commons thinks Breeze's health issues, like whooping cough turning into asthma, prove Mr. Baker is the dad because he's got asthma too. She's like, science, duh! But Mr. Baker isn't having it. He's focused on her past flings. And here comes another twist.
When my baby was a little baby, she had whooping cough. When I talked to the doctor said that down the line, whooping coughs can cause some form of asthma. He walks around with his asthma pump in his pocket. He pulls out the asthma pump and hit the asthma pump. That's how I know for a fact that's his daughter. For a fact, that's his daughter.
This just hit another level. Judge Lake has had enough, calling out both of them for their childish antics and reminding them that their daughter is the real victim here. She's like, get it together for Breeze's sake, and you won't believe what comes next.
Go to your mama, whether you have her all day long and you know she wants you. She says this, I want you. That hurt. You don't know nobody inside feelings. Just like I don't know your inside feelings. Just like what I did to you was wrong, but for you to do this to this baby is not right. She's a baby. Thank God she don't understand.
Because you feel like you see him rejecting her.
Yes.
We're at a place where we can understand what really happened.
What an intense moment. Darlesia Baker, Mr. Baker's sister, jumps in claiming she knows Ms. Commons was messing around with other guys during the conception period. They were apparently besties, sharing all the juicy details. Ms. Commons is like, lies, all lies. But the final reveal is coming, and it's big.
What relationship are you to Mr. Baker?
I am Brandon's oldest sister.
And what are you here to testify to as it relates to the paternity of Breeze Baker?
Me and Mary been friends, best friends, for 10 years. And we used to run the streets together, which means like we was double dating, kicking it, going back to the clubs and stuff. And to fast forward up after that.
Here's the moment of truth. The DNA results are in. And surprise, surprise.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Baker, you are the father.
I'm happy.
The judge opens the case of Capples versus Harris, and Miss Capples doesn't waste any time asserting that Mr. Harris is the father of her 15-month-old son, Jason. She is super confident that he should acknowledge paternity, despite his girlfriend's evil eye from across the room. Hold on to your seats, folks. This is just the beginning.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Capples versus Harris.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Capples, you say you are 100% certain that the defendant is your 15-month-old son, Jason's biological father, and today he's going to put his name on the dotted line right in front of his girlfriend.
Wait, what? Miss Capples spills the beans, saying she and Mr. Harris were never an item. They were just friends with benefits. She clears up any confusion about their relationship status, which is basically, it's complicated without the Facebook update. This is the kind of drama you live for.
Clarify that now. We were just
sleeping together.
Sleeping together. That's pretty much it.
Were you in another relationship?
No,
I was not, no.
No, I wasn't.
Find out you pregnant. Obviously, you weren't using protection if there's a question that he's the biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You tell him, did he immediately deny the baby? You feel like he's just denying the baby now because of his girlfriends?
Me and Mr. Harris started talking. We used to go to high school together.
This part is wild. Miss Capples busts out a calendar, presenting a detailed timeline of her trysts with Mr. Harris and how it matches Jason's conception. She's practically doing a math equation on how the dates line up perfectly with her rendezvous. Evidence like this makes you grab the popcorn.
Your Honor, as you can see, my son Jason was born January 9, 2016.
Okay.
Me and Mr. Harris were intimate for 9 months, all the way up until May, the beginning of May.
No.
September, we started talking around September, Mr. Harris.
This is a head scratcher. The court finds out Mr. Harris didn't even know Miss Capples' real name the entire time they were hooking up. How do you forget someone's name after months of, well, you know? This revelation is the kind of twist you'd expect in a bad rom-com.
When we contacted Mr. Harris and told him that Ms. Shatera Capples summoned him for a DNA test, he said, I don't know who you're talking about. Muffin?
That is correct.
I'm pretty sure I told him my name. Would you remember Shantira or would you remember Muffin? Would I go by around town?
If you having sex for that many months with the same person without using any protection, you gotta at least know their name.
Oh snap, she went there. Miss Capples admits she was ticked off when Mr. Harris didn't show up for the birth, so she didn't bother asking him to sign the birth certificate. Now she's looking back and thinking, oops, my bad. You won't believe what's coming next.
I wasn't worried about that, him signing the birth certificate at that point. You wanna act like you ain't the daddy? We can
But you are here today saying now has to sign it in front of girlfriend
sign it in front of
today.
From here now, what is that?
But my point is this: if it didn't make any difference to you then, do you know now that that was an error? So you've come to the realization that that was you being angry, and now that's why you're here court today, because you know that your child deserves to have mother and father listed on his birth certificate.
Yes, sure.
And the drama intensifies. Miss Capples and Mr. Harris's girlfriend, Miss Mayfield, are bickering about a hospital encounter like they're on a reality show. Miss Mayfield is trying to defend her job while Miss Capples is airing all the dirty laundry. The verbal sparring is about to hit a new high.
Hold on, what is this about the hospital room, Miss Capples?
She was undergoing surgery, getting ready to have my tubes tied.
That is my job.
Hey, what's your Honor, as a woman, I would not want to be in a room with a woman that's having my boyfriend's baby.
You work at the hospital, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then that was where they told you your station or where you were supposed to be?
Yeah.
To that?
Today, we got our stuff to do. Yes, ma'am.
You did not let anyone know because it was your job and you were trying to be professional.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Buckle up, it's getting heated. The argument between Miss Capples and Miss Mayfield escalates to a whole new level, showing just how deep the emotional scars run. The judge has to step in to keep things from boiling over, but trust me, the drama is far from over.
You gotta have with the kids. What you talking about?
No, he don't.
All right, one at a time. Ooh-wee. What's disappointing is that you all in this back and forth is getting in the way of us finding out the answers and trying to achieve some sort of resolution for Jason. Because if what Miss Capples has asserted it's true, and you are his biological father, y'all can't do this.
Exactly.
No. This is the big moment. The judge steps in to remind everyone that the real issue is figuring out who Jason's father is, not who can shout the loudest. The stage is set for the big reveal with the DNA test results. This is what we've all been waiting for.
That's exactly why this courtroom exists, because you all going back and forth on some tit for tat nonsense, and oh, he don't think this, so I ain't gonna let him see him, and this is all nonsense. And you know what? I got the results, and that's what's gonna help us move onto a better page. Jerome, let me have that envelope. Jerome, yes, please, stand there. I don't want any drama.
Hold on to your hats. The DNA results drop the bombshell.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Harris, you are not the father.
Thank you. Thank you.
You didn't sleep with no one else.
Let me go.
Ms. Brewington is here to prove that Mr. Lee is the biological father of her 3-year-old son, Giovanni. She claims Mr. Lee has been a father to Giovanni since birth, but now denies paternity to avoid paying child support. Mr. Lee, on the other hand, insists he has always known Giovanni is not his son and accuses Ms. Brewington of using him for money. You won't believe where this is going.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Brewington versus Lee.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Brewington, you are here to prove your 3-year-old son, Giovanni, is Mr. Lee's biological child, and you claim Mr. Lee has been a father to your son since the day he was born and is denying paternity because he wants to avoid paying child support.
Can you believe this back and forth? Ms. Brewington claims she conceived Giovanni in February, around her birthday, and Valentine's Day, when she says they were intimate. Mr. Lee refutes this, insisting they were not sexually active during that time. The plot thickens.
Your Honor, I conceived my son in February. My birthday is February 1st.
All right.
And from the 1st until about Valentine's Day, we were,
Take me back to the day you found out you were pregnant.
Found out that I was pregnant. I actually went to the doctor to just re-up on my birth control. They said, oh, you actually missed your last shot. I didn't even realize it. They said that they had to do a pregnancy test before they could go ahead with the birth control.
The suspense is killing me. Ms. Brewington recalls Mr. Lee's change in attitude once he found out the baby was a boy, claiming he then expressed love and insisted on naming the child. She offered a DNA test at the hospital, but Mr. Lee declined. Just wait for the next twist.
As soon as he found out that my son was a boy, he's like, oh, that's my boy. That's my boy. I love him. I had given birth because he had work, but he showed right up. He actually didn't even, they asked about the birth certificate and everything. He signed the birth certificate. He named my son. He wouldn't even, he was like, no, I'm not letting you give my son no dumb name. I actually told him to, I was like, you don't want to wait until, until we do a DNA test. I offered the DNA test in the hospital.
You signed the birth certificate, right?
Yes, I did.
If you had all this denial.
This just keeps getting better. Despite his doubts, Mr. Lee signed Giovanni's birth certificate. He claims he did not know he could not remove his name later, leading to Judge Lake questioning the logic behind his decision. The judge's response is priceless.
In my head, it was like, we already had a previous child. I'm gonna be in this child's life regardless.
You're making an execution of a birth certificate sound like a consolation prize or a consolation move. Well, since I'm gonna do this, I might as well. That's not why you sign a birth certificate.
I didn't know I couldn't take my name back off. I wouldn't have signed it.
So you weren't aware of the law. What I'm saying is, it just doesn't make any sense that you had absolutely no thought that this child could be yours.
The comparisons are striking. Ms. Brewington points out the resemblance between Giovanni and Mr. Lee, showing a photo comparison. Mr. Lee acknowledges some similarities, but remains unconvinced. The tension is building to a climax.
Oh, he is adorable.
And that's Jay.
And this is Mr. Lee as a child on the right.
Yes.
And you say you see a definite resemblance
between them two, yes.
They're light skinned.
When you look at this beautiful young boy, you really don't believe he's yours now that he's here in the world.
No.
They got the same hairline, nose.
And so, but after you sign the birth certificate, do you then go forward being a father to Giovanni? Like, do you step up for him?
Yeah, sure.
You can feel her frustration. Ms. Brewington expresses frustration over Mr. Lee's denial and the emotional toll on her and Giovanni. Judge Lake empathizes with the difficulty of the situation. Emotions are running high.
And I can't wait, because the devil is a liar and this is Lucifer, so stop. No, I'm not.
Well, you might be the devil then. We'll see.
You all are a lot. And you talking about him like a dog, Miss Brewington. You know you love that man. It's so obvious. I don't know why we in here. You got all the snap.
I'm just saying.
And all you gonna do is snap back. Right back over there.
No, you're
because you love that man.
The judge drops some wisdom. Judge Lake highlights the impact of the situation on Giovanni, urging Mr. Lee to consider the child's feelings and the importance of resolving the paternity question respectfully. Her next point is crucial.
Because Giovanni's 3. He calls you daddy. I I could only imagine if his soul and spirit could truly process the fact that the man that I look at and I say, Daddy, when I come running up, is standing in a courtroom right now, clowning my mother, but also denying me.
This is the moment of truth. The DNA test results reveal that.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Oh, Joe. Mr. Walls kicks things off by accusing Ms. Walker of being a serial cheater and denying being the father of her child. Not only that, but he's also suing her for not returning his car. Ms. Walker claps back, saying Mr. Walls is indeed the father of her 3-year-old daughter, Adriana, and she's ready to prove it today. Judge Lake gets right into it by asking how this roller coaster of a relationship started. Buckle up, because this ride is just getting started.
Mr. Walls, you say that after spending a short time away from Ms. Walker, you caught her with someone else's hands in her cookie jar. You say Ms. Walker is a serial cheater and there is no way you are her child's father.
Yes, you.
All right, Ms. Walker, you say Mr. Walls is a sweet-talking liar who knows very well he's the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Adriana, and you intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Things just keep getting wilder. Judge Lake questions the seriousness of their relationship, especially since Mr. Walls didn't seem excited about the pregnancy. Ms. Walker admits they were separated when she got pregnant, and Mr. Walls confirms he was absent for about 30 days. Apparently, their relationship was more friends with benefits than anything serious. And there's more drama to come. Stay tuned.
So when she told you she was pregnant and it was your child, you had doubts?
Yeah.
Your Honor, when I told her I was pregnant, and he has said, well, I need to take a DNA test because he said he didn't trust me.
Because when I was gone for them 30 days, she admitted to cheating. I asked her specifically, I said, when I was gone, have you been seeing anybody else? She said no. I asked her again, I asked her again, I asked her again. Finally said yes, she was talking to another guy when I was gone.
This story just gets crazier. Ms. Walker admits being in the car with another man, but insists it was a family member checking on her since she couldn't reach Mr. Walls. Mr. Walls is not buying it and reiterates his doubts about being the father. The argument between them shows just how deep the mistrust runs. But hold on, the drama is far from over.
Right here, the car was in front of your house.
Right, in front
and you was
of
in the
my
car,
house.
right?
I admit cheating because I was not cheating when I got.
Was there a man in the car with him?
Yes, what?
What you doing in the car with him then?
It was a family member.
Yeah, get them.
It was one of my family members came over to check on me because I was calling him the same day because
If I had a nickel. Me and my kid's mama, we were still living together when I was talking to her.
This just keeps getting more tangled. During Ms. Walker's pregnancy, Mr. Walls was completely absent. No doctor's appointments, no support, not even at the birth. Ms. Walker confirms she was on her own the entire time. Mr. Walls claims Ms. Walker didn't inform him about the birth in time. The plot thickens, and there's more drama ahead.
Throughout the pregnancy, you were by yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
He didn't help you go to doctor appointments or any of that kind of stuff?
Nothing. He was not there.
Was he at the birth? Is he on the
You
birth
wanna know why I
certificate?
wasn't at the birth?
His name
Let's
was on
not
the birth
get there.
certificate, no.
Let's not get there why I wasn't at the birth. Let's get that together.
He came, after I had a baby, he came at 7 o'clock that night.
You called me 7 o'clock that day. Your Honor,
No.
this woman called me. She called me and said I had the baby.
What a revelation. Judge Lake points out Mr. Walls' ongoing relationship with another woman as a reason for his unavailability during Ms. Walker's labor and delivery. Ms. Walker insists she called Mr. Walls when her water broke, but he didn't respond. Judge Lake emphasizes the importance of honesty in her courtroom. You won't believe what happens next.
We know what's happening here.
Well, that may be true a little.
Yeah, that's what.
May be true a little.
I major in truth in this courtroom. We know. I'm from Detroit too.
I know that's right.
So you can't out-talk me.
No, 100% that he is the father. Because when we went out for the first time, 'cause he was the motorcycle club, and we went there and stuff like that. We was talking and we were having a good time, a good night. And one thing leads to the next. I'm on the pool table.
Oh. Was
we did not use
operating hours?
Huh?
Nah.
You have to hear this expert's explanation. Dr. Tasha Rogers, an OBGYN, explains Couvaid syndrome, where men experience pregnancy symptoms like nausea and vomiting when their partners are pregnant. She describes how this phenomenon is hormonally driven and varies in intensity. Dr. Rogers confirms it's a real syndrome with a scientific basis, but clarifies it has no bearing on paternity. The courtroom's reaction to this is priceless.
To something that dad doesn't even notice, like love handles, and he figures he's getting a little bigger because mom's eating more, to nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. So it does certainly exist.
So it's a real syndrome. It's a real thing.
Yes.
There's like scientific basis for it?
We know that hormonally, males get an increase in female hormone. They get an increase in estrogen and a few more.
When a woman's pregnant?
Yeah.
Now this is crucial. Judge Lake addresses Mr. Walls' lawsuit for $2,500, claiming he lent Ms. Walker his car, which she never returned. Ms. Walker argues that Mr. Walls gave her the car to use for her doctor's appointments during pregnancy. Judge Lake needs to decide if the car was a loan or a gift. The verdict is just around the corner.
You say you lent Ms. Walker your car?
Yes.
And never got it back?
No.
Explain.
In my heart, you know, I'm a big old softy. You know, in my heart, I was like, I'm gonna give Miss Walker this car.
You gonna give her this car, or you're going to let her use it?
I'm gonna let her use it.
He gave me the car, Your Honor.
The anticipation is building. Ms. Walker hopes the paternity test will prove Mr. Walls is the father so he can start supporting their child. She admits she can't take care of her daughter alone and needs his help. Judge Lake asks if Ms. Walker has anything to say to Mr. Walls before the results are read. The moment of truth is next.
To step up to the plate and do what you gotta do for your child. I just need help. I can't just take care of her by myself. I can't make her by myself.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Mr. Walls before?
I just want to say, if it come back and says yours, I just need an apology. If it come back and says it's not yours, I'll give you an apology.
So early in court, Ms. Walker, you said that there's absolutely no way it could be anybody else.
No way.
The tension is palpable. The DNA results reveal that.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Walls, you are not her father. Ms. Walker, I gave you an opportunity. At least 5.
Well, I apologize.
Oh boy, can you believe what we're about to witness? Judge Lake kicks things off by introducing the roller coaster of a case. Valentin vs. Jordan. Ms. Valentin is here, all guns blazing, to prove that Mr. Jordan is indeed the biological father of her 3.5-month-old son, Michael Jordan. Mr. Jordan, on the other hand, is waving around a mysterious text message, like it's his golden ticket to freedom. And that's just the beginning of this wild ride.
Ms. Valentin, you are here to prove your 3.5-month-old son, Michael Jordan, is the defendant's biological child. You claim Mr. Jordan did not deny your son until you moved on and began dating other men. Mr. Jordan, you claim you have always known you are not Michael's biological father after discovering a text message Ms. Valentin sent to another man.
Wow, that was both surprising and oddly charming. Judge Lake and the audience react to Ms. Valentin's unique taste in men. She insists Mr. Jordan is handsome, but has that special dash of ugly she finds irresistible. This lighthearted banter is a funny break in the otherwise serious proceedings, but don't get too comfortable because it doesn't stay light for long.
I think that's a first. I've never heard that. You say you like your men with a dash of ugly?
Yes, it's only a dash. He's still a very handsome man, and he has a very beautiful smile, but he still has a dash of ugly. Just a dash. He's not ugly. He has a dash of ugly.
Okay.
He's very handsome, but you know.
My day, we used to say we don't like them too pretty.
Exactly.
You all, it's a dash of ugly now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I get it.
What an incredible twist. Mr. Jordan paints a vivid picture of finding another man at Ms. Valentin's house, which really fuels his doubts about being the father. He describes his suspicion upon seeing the disheveled state of her bedroom and a stranger making a quick exit. This detailed account adds a whole new layer to his request for a paternity test. You won't believe the next part. It's like a movie.
I appreciate you being detail-oriented. Ms. Valentin, so we know you were having sexual relationship. How did you find out Ms. Valentin was pregnant?
I came home one night and she had somebody living with her. I ain't never
you're lying.
in my life.
Wait, you said
you
you
didn't
came
come home one night
Yes,
because you never lived with
She
me.
didn't even know I was coming.
Whoa, that was quite a revelation. Enter Elijah Krebs, Mr. Jordan's star witness, who testifies about seeing a parade of men entering and leaving Ms. Valentin's home. His testimony backs up Mr. Jordan's infidelity claims and raises the stakes even higher. This new evidence really cranks up the intensity of the dispute. Just wait, there's more to come. It's like a courtroom thriller.
What do you know about this situation?
Well, I actually got an exhibit I'd like to show you.
Please step over to your exhibit.
I go to my friend's house. He lived in the same apartment complex she did. He lived right over here. She lived right over here. And in order for me to get to and from his house, I would have to go this way to go to the bus stop.
And when you would walk past, what is your testimony?
I seen men coming in and out of her house. Multiple occasions.
Your Honor.
On multiple occasions, Your Honor.
Did you catch that bombshell? Judge Lake steps in, admonishing both parties for their over-the-top behavior and reminds them of the real issue, their child's well-being. Her frustration is palpable as she urges them to focus on resolution and cooperation. This moment is a stern wake-up call in the midst of their chaos. The real surprise is just around the corner. You won't want to miss it.
You all are proving why I always say sex is not an after-school activity. It's not an extracurricular activity. It's not soccer. It's not baseball. It's not bowling. It's serious. Don't just get on the computer and decide, oh, I'm gonna have sex today, because it turns into this. And now we've got a little person. Look at this beautiful baby. I don't want him to grow up in this level of negativity and drama.
That was shocking. The big reveal is here. The DNA test results are out.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jordan, you are the father.
Holy moly, what an intense start to the case of Ashley Visa Bullock. Ms. Ashley is on a mission, claiming Mr. Bullock is her biological father. Mr. Bullock, however, is waving the nope, not me flag, citing some medical mumbo-jumbo. Buckle up, folks, because this roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Ashley versus Bullock.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Ashley, you say that after years of searching, you finally located the man you believe to be your biological father. You say that after finding Mr. Bullock, he embraced you as his daughter before cruelly rejecting you the same way he did when you were a child. You say you have no doubt he's your biological father and plan to prove it today.
What an argument. Judge Lake jumps in to ask Mr. Bullock the million-dollar question. Why bother looking for Ashley if he doubted she was his kid? Mr. Bullock gives a half-romantic, half-tragic explanation about signing the birth certificate out of love for her mother. It's like a plot twist straight out of a romance novel gone wrong. The tension builds further as the courtroom drama unfolds.
I was there when she was born. I signed the birth certificate. I was in love with her mother. I wanted her to be my daughter. But
were you married to her mother?
I was married to her mother, yes.
When she was born, you were married?
No, ma'am.
Well, when I found him, which was on Facebook, I wrote him an email on Facebook and told him, you know, if you know who I am, please contact me.
So you submitted that message that you're speaking. My name is Ebony Ashley. I was born to your mother's name. I have a brother by the name of your brother's name.
Did you see that? Ms. Ashley isn't having any of Mr. Bullock's timeline shenanigans. She fires back, accusing him of spinning tales and misleading her all along. The frustration is real, and it's spilling over like a pot of boiling water. The debate heats up even more, and you can cut the tension with a knife.
I was with your mom, but I don't know. But we can handle
and that's
this.
What I said.
No,
that's exactly what I said.
No, what you said was, come visit me and my wife.
Right.
Let me take you and meet all my friends. You bring me down there with my kids. I see meet your coworker, but you're not my dad, though, right? You playing a role like you're playing one right now. Come on now.
Your Honor, I wanted her to be my daughter. I was there when she was born. I signed the birth certificate.
Okay, so how embarrassing is this? I tell him, bring him to my family, meet everybody in my family, meet my kids, and now he's screaming he ain't my daddy.
What a confession. Judge Lake presses Mr. Bullock on why he signed the birth certificate if he knew Ashley wasn't his daughter. Mr. Bullock admits he did it out of love for her mother, hoping for a happy family future. It's a bittersweet confession that adds another layer to this already complicated case. The drama is far from over, and there's plenty more to uncover.
I met her mother right here. So I met her mother in July now.
In July?
Yes, ma'am. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ebony's supposed to have been born right here in November. So I figured she was born in November that early. She should have been an incubator or something. She was 9 pounds. Now, there's no way.
I was 9
that's
pounds.
Mine. I mean, come on. I use your words, Anna. That is a huge window.
Yes,
that is a very huge window.
Did you expect that? Ms. Ashley isn't buying Mr. Bullock's explanations. She feels he only accepted her when it suited him and is now trying to backtrack. Mr. Bullock stands firm, reiterating his belief that Ashley isn't his daughter. The confrontation intensifies, and it's clear this courtroom battle is far from over.
Say you signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
Why?
Why would you do that?
Because I was in love with her mother.
Did you believe Ebony was yours? Miss Ashley was your daughter when you signed the birth certificate?
No, I knew she wasn't.
Oh, okay. Now I'm getting a new flash.
I knew she wasn't.
You're saying I knew she wasn't mine because of the way the timeline, but because I loved her mother and thought we were going to be a family. Miss Ashley, did you ever hear that any other man could be your biological father?
No, ma'am.
What a reveal. Mr. Bullock provides an alibi, explaining his absence during Ashley's childhood. He blames legal hurdles and third-party interference for not being able to take custody. Ms. Ashley, however, remains skeptical, questioning his efforts. The truth is about to come out, and you won't want to miss it.
Where did you go? Why did you leave? Why did we get adopted?
I explained to you, sir. I was at work when you got taken. Oh, I tried to get you back. See, I tried to, what am I supposed to do? The law steps in.
Every time he gets around, we argue, and then he turns around and does something like, for example, happy birthday. He wants to put on my post, we argue, and then he hits me on Facebook.
No. That says happy birthday to a special daughter, even though me and you argue like hell, you're still my little girl, and I will always love you, so enjoy your day.
This is getting emotional. Judge Lake reads a birthday message from Mr. Bullock to Ms. Ashley, which is as heartfelt as a Hallmark card. The message adds another layer of confusion about Mr. Bullock's stance. Despite the sentiment, Mr. Bullock maintains he always knew Ashley wasn't his daughter. Get ready for the next twist in this emotional saga.
Write her these kinds of messages on her birthday, and now you're standing before me saying, I know for certain that is not my biological child.
I have always known, Your Honor, wasn't such a messed up person towards me.
Are you suggesting that if Ashley weren't expressing this level of confusion and anger towards you, embraced her and never said a word?
Yes, ma'am.
How am I supposed to be?
You're supposed to act like a human being, like a decent human being.
That was informative. Dr. Samantha Brown Parks steps in to drop some medical knowledge on the courtroom. She explains what a disrupted testicle means and its impact on fertility, confirming that fathering a child is still possible with one functioning testicle. The revelations keep coming, and there's more ahead.
That suggests that during his service,
a hand grenade.
A hand grenade exploded, and one of his testicles was injured. He then consulted a medical doctor, was told that he had a disrupted testicle, and that he may not be able to father children.
So a disrupted testicle is kind of a broad term, meaning that something has caused the sperm to not be able to get out of the testes during intercourse.
Shocking results! The air is thick with anticipation as Judge Lake reads the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Bullock, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Miss Ashley.
It's okay.
In the case of Foster versus Fields, both parties exchange formal hellos with the judge and get comfy in their respective corners of the courtroom. Brace yourselves, it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Foster versus Fields.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
All right, here comes the heartbreaker. Ms. Foster steps up with a major request. She's gunning for a DNA test to confirm that Mr. Fields is the father of her daughter, Sienna, a little trooper born battling some serious health issues. She's not just here for drama, she's here for the overdue child support from Mr. Fields, who seems to have ghosted on his responsibilities. Buckle up as emotions are about to fly off the handle.
Ms. Foster, you've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that the defendant fathered your 17-month-old daughter, Sienna, a beautiful little girl born with extreme medical needs. You've dragged him to court, order he pay the support he's been neglecting.
Wait, there's a curveball coming. Mr. Fields stands his ground with a bold 100% guarantee that he's not the father, claiming the timeline of Ms. Foster's pregnancy doesn't match up with their brief encounter. He's confident, and he's got proof, or so he says. Stay tuned, because Ms. Foster is about to serve up a response.
You say you're 100% certain that you are not her child's father because she was pregnant before you met. Claim to have proof to support your case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Foster, tell me about Sienna and what exactly has Mr. Fields done for her?
Tensions are high and the stakes even higher. Ms. Foster lays it out plain and simple. Mr. Fields has done the bare minimum, contributing a whopping 3 onesies and 2 pairs of socks to Sienna's cause, despite her complex medical needs and surgeries. You might want to grab some popcorn because the courtroom drama is just heating up.
She's having some development problems, so we're just having follow-ups in Syracuse with all the rest of her doctors.
And there's just been no support?
He came to the hospital probably about 4 times, but when he was there, it was just have relations with me.
No, I think that's a lie, Your Honor. I think that's a lie.
This part is a doozy. The discussion takes a sharp turn as they dive into the details of their personal relationship, with Mr. Fields disputing the paternity based on their timeline and Ms. Foster's previous sexual experiences. Accusations fly, and the truth seems murkier than ever. You won't believe what's coming next. This plot is thickening by the minute.
Shania proclaimed to be a virgin. Came and see me about the 31st of May that month.
What happened the first night?
She came to my house, you understand. She had bought some new shorts. I was trying to be respectable, and I asked her, do you want to go in the bathroom? She tells me no. Take off her pants right there in front of me. I'm still sitting in the bedroom. One thing led to another.
This is the first day you met her?
First day I seen her.
Oh, the twists and turns. Amidst a wave of laughter and disbelief from the audience, Ms. Foster tries to explain the concept of being practically a virgin, which just baffles everyone, including the judge. The courtroom turns into a mix of confusion and comedy. Keep watching. This roller coaster is nowhere near stopping.
I thought she was a virgin?
She was not a virgin, Your Honor. I had multiple stories of her telling me how many dudes she done, slept with and all that. Girl was not a virgin.
Miss Foster, you were saying you were a virgin at that time. Were you?
I was practically, before him, there was some other guy. There was
How
some
can you
other
be
guy.
practically a virgin?
There was some other guy
That's
before him, and I
impossible.
don't count that as a partner.
You said practically a virgin.
Yeah.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more tangled, we pivot to Ms. Foster's relentless attempts to reach Mr. Fields via his family, highlighting a saga of missed connections and alleged obsessions. Mr. Fields claims harassment. Ms. Foster claims desperation. What unfolds next is guaranteed to drop some jaws.
She's texting your wife trying to get in touch with you.
I never texted his wife. I have never known her until 3 days ago.
Let's get some order. You're saying Ms. Foster texting your brother and your mother. Why is this out of the ordinary if she believes you're her child's father? Of course she would try to get in touch with you. You think she's trying to get in touch with you because she wants to be with you?
No. Listen, I'm married. I'm really happy married. You
Where's the ring?
What it is?
Where's the ring?
Unraveling the web of words. The court scrutinizes a Facebook message allegedly from Mr. Fields that's all lovey-dovey, which he outright denies sending. Is it a case of hacked accounts or hidden affections? The suspense is real, folks, and the truth is about to come out under the courtroom lights.
This is not gonna last her.
Where that's coming from?
This is temporary.
What is this?
A Facebook message.
A Facebook message that says, I still have love for you that will never change. I wish we would have had a longer relationship.
I haven't had
this
a Facebook.
Is from Mr.
I have
Fields?
not had a Facebook in 6 months.
You're saying you didn't write this post?
Listen, I didn't write it. I don't get on Facebook. I don't
so
own a
bad.
Facebook.
This is a whole front right now. I swear to God, I'm telling you, Jake Paul knows I'm that woman. If I wanted him, I can have him.
Get ready for the emotional whirlwind. The spotlight shifts back to the birth of Sienna, with Ms. Foster detailing the emotional and physical absence of Mr. Fields during crucial moments, despite his claims of being present. The judge is getting to the heart of the matter, and what she uncovers next will make your jaw drop.
Did you ever have sex with Ms. Foster without protection?
And I would have been, I'm a real person.
I have protection, Your Honor. This girl said she was on the
Never.
Depo. The Depo shot is birth control. Approximately 99% effect from not getting pregnant.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I have not became on the Depo, and I haven't even dealt with him since January until last month.
Were you?
And he was there at the hospital.
Your birthday, you thought the baby was
there at the
there?
hospital.
So, Mr. Fields, you came to the hospital for the birth.
Can you feel the tension? The judge digs deeper, challenging Mr. Fields on his fluctuating involvement and the reasons behind his sudden cold shoulder post-birth, uncovering layers of personal conflict and life changes that might just explain a lot. The verdict is just around the corner, and it's going to be a game changer.
Mr. Fields, you're saying you don't believe you are Sienna's father.
Nope.
But you've been present for so much of the pregnancy. Even in the beginning, her birth, you decided to just leave the entire situation alone and turn your back.
Because it wasn't left up to me. That's the reason why.
So it would have been your choice to stay and to support the child?
Yeah, I would have did what I had to do for the baby, but it wasn't left up to me. So, I mean, like I said.
Hold your breath for the big reveal. The results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Fields, you are her father.
Take care of my child.
Jerome steps up with his usual flair, introducing the case to the judge, greeting her with a smooth "Hello, Your Honor," and smoothly presents the parties involved. Strap in. This is going to be a wild ride.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Benskin versus Haskett.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Benskin.
Oh, snap. Did that just happen? Judge Lake grabs the reins, addressing the courtroom with authority while acknowledging the tangled web of accusations involving paternity disputes and child support drama. Get your popcorn ready, because this is just the beginning.
You have opened your case today because you say the defendant refuses to accept that 4-year-old daughter, Kinsley, is biologically his. You are here to prove he is her father before he gets locked up for unpaid child support. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Ms. Benskin lays it out, claiming Mr. Haskett owes a boatload in back child support and paints a picture of his job instability and a past filled with the not-so-glamorous confines of a jail cell. What Mr. Haskett has to say next might just surprise you.
You are here with your girlfriend and claim the plaintiff is a money-hungry liar. You don't believe you fathered her daughter and plan to prove that in court today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Things are definitely heating up. Mr. Haskett takes the floor, admitting he hasn't been the financial pillar of support for the child, blaming the sporadic nature of his employment for the lack of automatic deductions. But wait, there's more. He's got an explanation that might just twist things further.
You have not been supporting the child?
No, Your Honor.
You have not?
No.
No, let me explain that. All right, whenever he has a job, it does get taken out of his check automatically. She has received money. It's not like she hasn't got anything.
Didn't see that coming, did you? The court dives into a sea of confusion and miscommunication about missed court dates and foggy responsibilities, shedding light on Mr. Haskett's uphill battle with the legal dates. Hang tight, because the courtroom drama intensifies from here.
He rescheduled it.
I wrote him on Facebook 2 days prior and the day before and the morning of, telling him, and I talked to his family member to let them
didn't know that he was supposed to be there. Well, he's not here, so we can't tell him. Okay, well, he doesn't show up. That's his fault. That's not mine.
So after a series of rescheduling of the court date, you missed the court date and were named the father by default.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now that you're named the father by default, you are now responsible legally for child support for this child.
Yes.
Are you kidding me right now? Mr. Haskett discusses his short stint in jail and continues to express his doubts about being the father. Despite the looming shadow of legal obligations, this segment is a roller coaster, and the next turn is even crazier.
So were you arrested for failure to pay child support?
No, I had to turn myself in for failure to appear.
But now you are behind in the child support, and you could go back to jail again for failure to pay child support, but you still don't believe you're the child's biological father.
No.
And to this day, Kinsley is 4 years old. You have never had a DNA test.
No.
You can't make this stuff up. Ms. Benskin and Mr. Haskett recount the casual nature of their relationship, filled with a few hangouts and a party or two. Just when you think you've heard it all, the story takes another twist that's hard to believe.
One of my exes is friends with him. We've known each other for a long time. He had wrote me on social media, asked me to come hang out. We hung out a couple times. We went to a party.
So, okay, so you went to a party. What was the nature of the relationship in your estimation, Mr. Haskett?
Friendship.
Just a friend.
Yes.
Not you trying to start a relationship.
It started out to be something different, but...
Margaret came back into the picture and he wanted to be back with her, which I understand. They have a daughter together, but doesn't mean he has to push my daughter off to the side.
This is where it gets real. Mr. Haskett confirms the risky business of their unprotected encounters, directly leading to the paternity question at hand. Fasten your seatbelt. The revelations are just getting started.
You were having sex with her, am I correct?
Yes.
You were not using protection?
No.
All right, so now we're on the same page that we can make a baby with a paternity issue. So, had sex without protection. How long did this relationship go on?
Months.
How long was it in your estimation?
Probably maybe a month to 2 months at the max, and she'd
More than 1 month is months. So now, why did you all end this sexual relationship?
Because he got back with Margaret.
Okay.
Whoa, what's this now? The plot thickens as they discuss the possibility of other partners during the conception period, which Ms. Benskin denies. But don't relax yet. The following exchange turns up the heat even more.
So was he the only guy you were having sex with at the time?
Yes, Your Honor. I had an ex-boyfriend prior to this, but it was a month or two before I even started talking to Brandon.
In a heated moment, Mr. Haskett throws a curveball, accusing Ms. Benskin of involvement with other men during their time together, which she adamantly denies. The tension is palpable, and what comes next might just set the courtroom on fire.
You're just sitting there as a friend.
Yes.
Did you ever just ask this guy, are you sleeping with Ms. Benskin?
Yes, he did. He told me he was.
And he said yes?
Yes.
But you say this is a lie, Ms. Benson?
Yes, it is. And the guy he's referring to is one of my good friends. He didn't have a way to work. I gave him a ride to work in my car.
That was
And
his
if
car.
there was sexual intercourse with this other, why would I ask you to go with me to pick him up at his work?
He sees a guy get out, kiss you, and say, love you, I love you.
That never happened.
You thought it was dramatic already. Hold my gavel. The presentation of text message evidence leads to fiery exchanges and a whirlwind of complications concerning the paternity question. Brace yourself. The judge's revelation is up next.
And then, Ms. Scott, you say, where's the paper?
There wasn't no court date.
Wait a minute, Ms. Benskin, you just testified that you never ever had a question or an issue with any other man being the biological.
And I did.
So what is this text about?
They made me mad and I didn't want Kinsley to be hit. I just made up some story so they would leave me alone. I just wanted to prove Brandon, and that's what I'm here for today.
So you lied here, which if you lied here, that means you lied in court.
Talk about a game changer. Judge Lake drops the bombshell DNA results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Haskett, you are the father.
Now how to, so we get to see her, right?
Yeah, I told you guys. You guys went for visitation.
Without you.
Listen,
that can be just...
Listen. We've gotten the answer. Now, as we go forward, we have to do so in a responsible way.
Ms. Robinson explains her reason for appearing in court. She wants a DNA test to prove to Mr. Parker that he is the father of her 23-month-old daughter, Tenela, in an effort to save their relationship. Just watch what happens next.
Ms. Robinson, you're here desperately trying to save your relationship. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to the defendant, Mr. Parker, that he is the father of your 23-month-old daughter, Tenela.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Parker, you put your wedding on hold because you're positive you are not father.
The tension is palpable as Mr. Parker expresses his doubts about being the father. He has put their wedding on hold and is adamant that he is not the father, largely because Ms. Robinson hid the pregnancy from him initially. What follows might just surprise you.
Not only did Ms. Robinson hide the pregnancy, she didn't tell you about Tenela until she was 5 months old. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Parker, today's results pretty much determine everything.
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
You won't believe what's revealed next. A significant revelation is made when Ms. Robinson admits that during the time she was pregnant, she was also involved with another man, which Mr. Parker was unaware of. The plot thickens in the following moments.
He didn't know around the time that I have pregnant that I was seeing someone else. That's where the possibility come from that Tanala might not be his.
And you say he didn't know?
No, ma'am.
I do know. Yes, I do. You cheated on me. I sat there and saw you with another guy holding hands at a park.
Okay, but when you see me, why didn't you say nothing to me then?
Because why did you cheat?
When she was
why
5
did you
months
cheat?
and I came to you and I told you that she might be yours.
Here's a twist no one saw coming. A critical moment occurs when Mr. Parker recalls seeing Ms. Robinson with another man at a park, which led him to suspect that she might be pregnant. His suspicion wasn't confirmed then, and he moved on with his life. Keep watching, it's about to get even more intense.
And I saw her holding hands and hugged up with some other guy. At first, I saw that I suspect that she might have been pregnant, so I did a little hand gesture. I was like, "Hey, are you pregnant?" So she said no. Things started to come back around. She came to my house. I asked her, I was so shocked at her. I was like, "Hey, how you doing today? You know, I seen a long time ago." And all of a sudden, it was a baby there. So I'm like, "Who's this baby of yours?" You know, and she was like, "This your child." And I said, "What? My child? What do you mean my child?" She said, "Yeah, this your baby."
This revelation is quite shocking. Ms. Robinson recounts her initial confusion during her pregnancy, mistakenly believing she was suffering from pancreatitis until she was confirmed to be 4 months pregnant at a later hospital visit. Things are about to escalate even further.
So by second or third time that I went to the emergency room, they confirmed that I was 4 months pregnant.
Didn't call?
So when you first found out did you contact Mr. Parker at all?
During my pregnancy, Your Honor, no, I have not.
Were you with anybody else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
The one he saw you holding hands with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you tell that guy you were pregnant?
When I confirmed my pregnancy, Your Honor, yes, I have told him. Did not inform Mr. Parker that I was pregnant.
Hold on, because this changes everything. A dramatic turn happens when it's revealed that the other man, not Mr. Parker, was present at Tanila's birth and signed the birth certificate, which shocks Mr. Parker. The emotional fallout from this is a must-see.
Who was at the hospital then when Tanila was born?
Me and the other guy had came just at one time.
I could have been there. If that's my
so
baby,
the other guy came to the hospital?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did the other guy sign the birth certificate?
Yes, Your Honor.
What? Are you serious?
I didn't know how to tell you.
Are you serious? A birth certificate?
Yes.
God, that's probably not be his child sign a birth certificate, and that could be my baby?
Yes.
This part is truly heart-wrenching. The court hears about the emotional impact on Mr. Parker, who expresses how much he loves Tanila and has stepped up as a father figure, despite the uncertainty of his paternity. Watch how this unfolds. It's deeply moving.
I feel sorry like you feel sorry.
Okay then, so what you expect me to do? This is my baby. I'm gonna sit here and take care of her.
But what you do when I did tell you that she was? What you do?
I stepped up. I became a man. My dad raised me. He told me about responsibility, and that's what I did. I took my role as a man and became a man.
Once she came to you when Tanila was 5 months old,
my whole life changed. I mean, Your Honor, I was like
happy.
I was happy. You right? I was excited. You know, I felt like I was on heaven.
As we approach the climax, the tension is undeniable. The moment of truth arrives as Judge Lake prepares to reveal the results of the DNA test. The tension in the courtroom is palpable as everyone awaits the verdict on Mr. Parker's paternity. What comes next is absolutely critical.
I'm ready for the results. Jerome? Were prepared by DNA Diagnostic, and they read as follows. In the case of Robinson versus Park pertaining to 23-month-old Tanila.
Prepare for an emotional roller coaster. The DNA results reveal that.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Parker, you are not Tanila's father.
Oh my God.
Woo!
I'm sorry.
Sid!
I'm sorry.
Like a whole year wasted, man.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
The court session kicks off with the drama-packed case of Watson versus Mahoney. Jerome, the court clerk, sets the stage, announcing the case with a flourish that promises an intriguing session ahead.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
The case of Watson versus Mahoney.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Watson.
Mr. Watson steps up to the plate, claiming he's not the dad of Ms. Mahoney's 4-year-old firecracker, Kevin. He argues that while he was off on an adventure, Ms. Mahoney might have been playing more than just solitaire, suggesting one of the other players could be the kiddo's real dad.
You are in court to prove that you are not the biological father of the defendant's 4-year-old son, Kevin. You say that while you were away, Ms. Mahoney was having sexual relationships with 2 different men, and either of them could be the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mahoney Mahoney fires back with confidence, insisting Mr. Watson is 99.9999% certainly Kevin's father and flatly denies any side escapades. She's standing her ground like a superhero, cape and all, against Mr. Watson's doubts.
You say you are 99.999% sure that Mr. Watson is the father and deny his accusations of infidelity. Is that correct?
Your Honor.
So, Mr. Watson, you say today's results will determine the future of your relationship.
Here comes the bombshell. Mr. Watson labels Ms. Mahoney the neighborhood hoe, causing the audience to gasp like they're watching a horror movie. The judge quickly steps in, steering the ship back to more PG-rated waters, suggesting a lighter term, promiscuous.
When I was away, when I came back, she was cheating, and she has a bad reputation of being basically, as I'm gonna say it, the neighborhood hoe.
Okay, we're gonna try to use respectful language, but let's say she had a reputation of being very promiscuous.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Mr. Watson paints a picture of his grand return to find not one, but two mystery men treating Ms. Mahoney like she won the lottery. Ms. Mahoney explains these guys were just family friends turned emergency financial advisors, helping her keep the lights on and fridge stocked.
She had two men staying with her, and they were showering her with gifts and taking care of her. Now, me as a man personally, I'm not gonna do that for no woman.
Being a man, though, you should have left.
I never left.
Ms. Mahoney, did you have two men living with you?
Yes, ma'am. I had no job. I had nothing to fend for myself. They were close family friends. They just wanted to help me help them.
Tension escalates when it's revealed one of the supposed roomies confessed to a fling with Ms. Mahoney. She denies the claims, but Mr. Watson's face tells a story of a man who feels like he's in the middle of a bad soap opera plot twist.
Are you sleeping with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
And what was his response?
He said yes.
There's been many girls doing it to the same. We have a problem where there's lots of people that were in our life trying to split us up.
So he said he was having sex with Miss Mahoney?
Yes.
You confronted her about that?
Yes, multiple times.
Our family is on the line, and I just hope we have...
So why would that other guy say he's the father? He always
There's a difference between a father and a dad. Just to know that.
Court's in session with a Facebook twist as Ms. Mahoney's DNA test post claims.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Watson, you are the father.
See? I love you so much.
Love you.